First, almost all the other competing platforms have the exact same payment model. They take all the money that they earn from different tiers of subscribers, different territories, different kinds of listening, passive listening versus interactive listening, and all of those things generate a slightly different royalty. They put all that money together and then they say, we're going to pay this out based on market share. So the artists that get streamed the most get that proportional percentage of the overall subscription revenue. That's the sort of traditional streaming model, as opposed to something like fan-centric or listener-centric royalties, where basically what they do is they take an individual subscriber's money, say it's $10, and they say, well, this person listened to 50% the Beatles, 10% Drake, whatever that's left, 30, 40% something else. And then they paid that $10 out in that way to those artists. However, very, very few platforms do that. So most of them pay the other way, the same way Spotify does, which makes me say, why getting all this criticism? I think people also forget that streaming enables income from passive listening in a way that terrestrial radio didn't, because terrestrial radio, let's remember, only paid the songwriters, writers, and publishers. They never paid labels or people who own the sound recordings. So passive listening on streaming is kind of a whole new revenue stream. And that could be either non-interactive radio aspect of a streaming service or just playlists. So that's important when you compare it to how radio worked in the old days, as well as how label contracts worked in the old days. Like, there's potentially more money on the table, or more percentage of money on the table now for you. And then the breakdown of Spotify's model is 50 something percent goes to the label or sound recording. I think it's 15% goes to the publisher, songwriter, and that leaves about 30% for Spotify, which again, like you said, is not all that much when you think about the total payouts they're doing. And then at the same time, if you're comparing it to downloads, that's the exact same cut that iTunes made. So if you think iTunes was fair and Spotify isn't, just remember they're making the exact same percentage of their revenue. So when it comes down to people saying streaming should pay more, yes, streaming should pay more. But the problems with that are, where's the money going to come from? Because sound recording rights owners and publishers can fight all they want between each other to get a bigger slice of the pie. Labels don't want to pay publishers more. Publishers feel like songwriters deserve more money. Great. But they're just haggling over that 70%. Spotify's already got those slim margins making their 30, so it's not going to come out of their pocket.
Yeah.
And then for most independent artists, when I look at my own situation, I don't give a damn whether the songwriters or the labels earn more, because I'm both and I'm always going to be both. So I get all of that. So what do I care who wins in that regard? I mean, in a selfish way. And then that leaves you thinking, like, where's the money going to come from? Oh, should it come from the listener and the subscriber? Well, guess what? I bet Spotify would love that too, because that drives up what they're making from that 30%. They would love to have their subscribers pay more, but they have market forces, competition, people accustomed to that $9.99 threshold. And I bet no one wants people to pay more than Spotify does. Like, they would love it. So again, do you want to pay more than $9.99 a month? If you are, like, cool. But I just think that it's a societal problem. It's a devaluation because there's just an endless supply of music. Blame that on economics, whatever. But like, it's not as simple as Spotify bad, they should pay me more. There's just a lot of other things in the mix.